Diaz deserves all the credit, all the money in the world. It's about time that guy gets the fucking recognition he deserves. He's a dog, man.
Right.
He deserves it. However, I don't see him winning this fight, man, because
he's too good, Conor. Too fast.
Conor has too many tools. He's too fast. If you go back and look at the fight, we see the highlight of Conor getting choked out. What you don't see in that first round, Conor pieced him up and didn't get touched. And the reason why he gassed out is because he's never fought that weight, and he's used to touching guys and them going to sleep.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I'm just going to knock this dude out. Diaz is way too durable for that shit.
Right.
You can hit him with a sled shovel, and he's going to keep coming forward. He's like Terminator.
Well, what does it have to do with
that was a lack of respect and too much belief in Conor.
Too much hype, right?
Too much. Not even that, but like when you're known as a knockout artist at 145,
that's a big fucking jump.
It's a huge fucking jump. No one else is going to do that. That's why I don't look at this as a negative thing for Conor. No other fighter's fighting a guy with 30 pounds on him talking shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for Conor, he went in there was like, yeah, I touch dudes, they go to sleep.
Right.
It's no different.
Right.
And someone in his camp should be like, listen, brother, this is a big dude. He's way bigger than you, and he's also known to have a granite chin. Let's stick and move, man, and work him. If the knockout's there, great, but don't go looking for it. And you see Conor in that first round, literally, he's so much faster. Just piece him up, doing whatever he wants.
And he was catching with the
and then he got
uppercut.
tired.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because think about, like, if it's a video game and you're throwing power shots, your stamina meter's going voot,
right,
voot, voot, voot. And then he gets to the second round, and he's like, oh, fuck, man, this guy's not going anywhere.
We're still here.
And Diaz's like, cool, man, keep doing that. I'm fine.
And Diaz caught him with that
two-piece, and he's so much bigger. Conor's never been hit with that.
What's his natural weight? Like, what's Conor? What do you think is his best fighting weight that he should be fighting at?
55.
And this one's at 170 also?
And this is the kind of guy McGregor is. They told McGregor, we'll do it at 55. He went, no. We'll do it at catch weight 160. He went, no. What kind of champion would I be if I went, all right, you beat me at 170.
Right, no.
Now you got to do this.
Right.
He's like, no, I can beat him at 170. Leave it at 170. I'll figure it out. He also spent 6 figures on this camp to figure it out.
Now, what does that mean? He spent 6 figures. What big fucking deal, right? Or like...
Well, in our world, it's kind of a big deal because, A, there's maybe 10 fighters in the world who could spend 6 figures on a camp. So that means he's flying in bodies to mimic Diaz. Nonstop travel. He's getting the best food, best coaches, best sparring partners, just to make sure he has all his bases covered to beat Nate Diaz.
Right, I got you.
Most fighters, it's literally like...
You take what you can.
Especially at heavyweight. Like, you just don't have the money. So it's literally like, fuck, I hope... There were some days when Shane retired, I'd be in Denver. There's some days where if a big guy didn't show up, I couldn't practice. I just wouldn't hit the bike because I have no one to train with.
Right.
That's the
so he's got it all set up like it's like this is guys
to a science and hopefully someone documented this camp because what he did.
They're doing some of that on that show, Bad Blood.
I'm talking they need to do it as a blueprint for what other fighters need to see what the potential is to be a world class fighter because everyone goes, well, I'm ranked in the top 10, I'm world class. You're world class talent. You're not performing at a world-class level as far as camp, coaches, sparring partners, nutrition, everything.
So how good is he in terms of like, we talked about this the last one was on, because we talked about with Ronda Rousey and it like the greatest of all time and the greatest of all. And I think that in UFC, they throw that fucking term around like so quick and so fast. But how good is Conor in terms of, what he's done so far? Like, what is his potential?
His thing is we haven't. For those UFC fight heads out there, like remember when Lyoto Machida jumped on the scene and we're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" We've never seen this. Like he's from the Matrix. And then after he had a hell of a run, but then guys started bringing karate and taekwondo guys to mimic him. So because you only get one shot at Lyoto Machida, good luck duplicating it. Right. So then with Wonderboy Thompson, same thing. No one can really figure him out yet. Right. Because they're like, what the fuck? We've never seen this. With Conor, it's the same thing. You can't find a guy who mimics him really. There's a young cat in Brazil who mimics him to a T. That Jose Aldo worked with, Nate Diaz and those guys, I highly doubt they brought that guy in. They're not known for doing that. But he's out there. So Conor McGregor, he's fast, he walks the walk, he talks talk. His thing is, his big X factor is if you threw him like a Frankie Edgar, a Dos Anjos, like a real grappler, how's he going to do? because we've seen him fight, and that's the one knock on. We've seen him fight Chad Mendes, and Chad Mendes in that first round took him down, a few times pretty easily too. Well, Chad had a 2-week notice and gassed out.
Right.
But Chad probably, who knows, maybe could have done it for 5 rounds.
So you think his weakness is on the floor?
Grappling, correct.
I want him to fucking lose. I can't stand him.
Why?
Because the thing, just like the same way that I can't stand Floyd Mayweather in boxing, and I think the thing there's so many he stole Floyd's whole shit, which is obviously a version of Ali's shit and other fighters who have talked shit. But Conor McGregor does all this shit talking, all this shit, and people love him because he's a white Irish dude. Floyd. Yo, now granted, Floyd with the women and all.
Floyd beats women.
Yeah, I got it. But
he's also a counter striker.
But I'm just saying in terms of, and it's a different sport. But in terms of like that whole shit talking, and this motherfucker Conor, he doesn't just talk shit. Like he's talking about like your wife and your paycheck and all that shit. It's like. You just got choked the fuck out.
But before that,
I know he was doing his thing. He was doing his thing.
What he did to Jose Aldo
was that
in
a
19
fluke?
seconds.
Was that a fluke? That wasn't a fluke.
You know how many times he threw that right hand? Do you know why it's not a fluke too? This is nuts. You're gonna love this. I'm gonna convert you to a Conor fan. They have video of Conor in the back and before he walks out, and he goes, he's like, they have the video on him. He goes, this is what he's gonna do. He's talking to his coach. He goes. Jose's going to come out like this. He's going to punch. I'm going to slip, knock him out like this. Everyone's like, okay, man. But he does the exact movement he does in the first 19 seconds and knocks him out. To a T, like he's a fucking sidekick. He goes, he's going to come out like this. I'm going to go like this. Boom, knock him out. And his coach goes, all right, let's stay focused, though. And he goes, no, that's how it's going to go down. Walks out there.
I know,
and then does it to a T, including the footwork and the feints. I was like, oh, my, this motherfucker's Jesus Christ. This is the Irish Jesus Christ.
Right.
Holy fuck.
Right.
Let's celebrate this guy.
Right.
That's nuts.
I know he's dope, but I just...
And you got to remember how good Jose Aldo was before that.
Can he come back from that? Like, will he ever fight Conor again? Or who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I bet they will.
I've always liked underdog sort of personalities.
Everyone
like these
does.
Bangers like Diaz, like he's like a Jake LaMotta. He's like an Iran Barkley, a box. He's just a fucking banger. I like that. Like there's 2 of them. I like that it's the fucking Diaz brothers, and I like that he's just down and dirty. And I like that he took that fight and kicked that ass. I thought it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I thought it was
beautiful. You can't write that shit.
No, it was beautiful.
You can't write that shit. But at the same time,
he was bloody. I mean, he fucked him up.
I agree. And again, I'm happy for Nate. I love the attention Nate's doing. He was on Conan. He was on Jimmy Kimmel. He was on fucking The Herd.
And have you ever seen a guy who's not on coke but sounds so much like he's on coke before in your life? He sounds like he's yacked out of his mind. I know he's not. I know he's been smacked around a little bit, and I love you. And I would never say this to your face. I fucking love the Diaz.
Yeah.
But when you see him like off camera, you're like, yo, what's up with this dude?
Yeah, like
he seems like he's on that good yak.
Yeah, but I think it's more of like he's just not comfortable public speaking.
Yes.
And that's why he's so raw because
I love him.
That's why you love it because he's so raw. He doesn't he can't be fake.
No,
like he's
totally
I'm not
genuine.
That comfortable up here.
Right.
Fuck it.
I'm not going to say all that slick shit like McGregor.
I don't have. I didn't pre-think of any of this. Like none of this is preconceived. Here you go.
It really is what you see is what you get.
Blah blah blah. Yeah. Like he was on Speak for Yourself on FS1.
Yeah.
And the Whitlock was like. Talking to him and Diaz goes, can I cuss? And he goes, yeah. He goes, oh, fuck it then. And just starts being himself.
Right.
But before that, he was very reserved.
Right.
He was like, no, yeah. And he goes, can I cuss? And he goes, yeah. He goes, oh, no, fuck that dude. Like he just went back to his element.
I love those dudes. I love
them too. But this is why this fight will be the biggest in UFC history.
Will it really?
I think so. It depends. The selling and the UFC has had a lot of black eyes. If this isn't the biggest fight
in UFC. What did you say, black eyes?
Black eyes.
What,
they need more black guys.
They need more black guys or black ice?
They need less black eyes and more black guys.
I got you.
But if this isn't the biggest fight in UFC history, it's going to show you where the state of the UFC is at.
In terms of what?
Of power. And with the sell, with the Reebok deal.